Hey there, everybody. This is Mary Alice Duncan, and I'm so excited to be with you guys tonight. Your screen probably looks a little funny right now, and I apologize for that, but it won't for much longer. Let me get this pulled up. This is a brand new technology for me that I am still learning, but that's what makes it fun, right? Okay. This is one of my very favorite things to talk about. I love to talk to women, and I love to talk about our power and our strength as women. I think we are created so uniquely, and I think that we are created so beautifully for the AdvoCare opportunity. And so I want to thank each one of you tonight for hopping on this presentation. I know for those of you who are on the East Coast, this is a little late, so I'm going to try my best to make this worth your time and give you the best that I've got for the next little while. Again, my name is Mary Alice Duncan. My husband and I are 9-star Emerald distributors with AdvoCare. We just qualified for the diamond level of leadership in AdvoCare, which doesn't mean a whole lot to you right now probably, especially if you're new. But by the end of the presentation, hopefully you'll be able to see what that can mean for a family. Most importantly, what that can mean for your family. So what I'm going to do tonight is hopefully show you how AdvoCare can be a solution for irritations in your life, whether that is a physical irritation, a financial irritation, or even a time irritation. We all have debt, and it's physical, it's financial, or it's time debt. And so AdvoCare can be a solution for you in one of those three areas, and I want to be able to show you guys that tonight. But in light of the fact that we are women and we are unique and beautiful and strong and wonderful and powerful and all the other amazing adjectives that can describe us as women, and how this opportunity can be especially suited for us. So let's just hop in, let's get started. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about me and my journey with AdvoCare here in a little bit, but you maybe came to the presentation tonight thinking that you have a lot on your plate already. And so how in the world are you going to add one more thing? If you have been in AdvoCare a while, that's wonderful, and I'm talking to you tonight for sure. If maybe you're brand spanking new, I'm certainly talking to you. But if you are someone tonight who has not yet said yes to AdvoCare, then you may be wondering, why in the world would I add one more thing to my plate? Life is already full, especially I think as women, we tend to take on a lot. We wear a lot of hats, we do a lot of things, and we're a lot of things to a lot of people. And so why AdvoCare? Why would you put one more thing on your plate? So, when you look at these images, does this look like life to you? Does this feel familiar? I know for me it certainly does. I have one son who's 10, but I remember that feeling of the photograph in the top right. We all have stuff in life that makes us feel this way, whether it's a child or a spouse, or maybe it's just the housework that never seems to get done, or maybe you're a student and you've got a tremendous amount to study, or maybe it's debt from your student loans. Maybe it's that job that's not paying you enough for the work that you're putting in. Maybe it's a physical thing for you. Maybe it's your health and you just wonder why you're working so hard and nothing is changing. Maybe it's depression, anxiety, hormones, you name it, we deal with it as women. And so, this is our life. We tend to fill up our life with a lot of stuff to keep us busy, but I really want to stress to you tonight that I do not believe that busyness equals strength. And we as women, I think we've been deceived a little bit. We get so busy with life that it actually makes us feel really important. The more busy we are, the more we can fill up our day with busy work. And I'm not saying that it isn't important stuff. I mean, our kids and our family, the most important thing we have, but we get so consumed sometimes, I think, with the little day-to-day activities that make us feel important that we just assume that we're like Superwoman. And the reality is that those little day-to-day activities actually can distract us from our true purpose. I believe we were all created for something big, something bigger, probably than what we're doing now, and the busyness of life can distract us from what that is, and we're going to talk about purpose a little bit later in the presentation as well. But what I want to encourage you with, and the question that I want to ask you is, what is life going to look like if you don't change anything? You know, if you've got some things in your life that are irritations to you, some things in life that you wish you could change, look at life 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. Let's go 20 years down the road and ask yourself the question, if I don't do something now, if I don't make a change now, what are the consequences of that? How is life going to look different? And if you're looking in the future and you're going, man, I don't really like what I see, then I believe you're going to like what you see in this presentation tonight. I believe that we as women, as I said, we get so caught up in the day-to-day obligations that it actually kind of puts us to sleep a little bit. And so tonight we're going to be talking about waking up, because when we talk about women and we talk about the lioness, because I'm very drawn to the lioness as a representation of us as women. When we talk about the lioness, there is nothing more dangerous than being in the presence of a lion or a lioness when it's fully awake. And the world has put us to sleep, ladies. Say what you will. We have been put to sleep. And it is time for us to wake up and realize the potential that we have and realize the strength and power that lives within us. And there's a book that I've read. Many of you have probably read it as well. It is called Lioness Arising by Lisa Bevere. And it is a book. It is a faith-based book. This is not a faith-based webinar necessarily, but no, it is an excellent resource for women on discovering who they were called to be. But one of the things that's discussed in that book are the characteristics of a lioness. And you can read these for yourself. But what I love most about the lioness is that she is so fierce. She is powerful. She's a hunter, and yet the same teeth that would rip apart prey are the same teeth that gently carry her cubs from place to place without a scratch. You see, she's both fierce, but she's also gentle, and she knows when to be, you know, which one. And so I also love the way that the lionesses work together within the pride. They have affection for each other. They have respect for each other. If lionesses were women, you certainly wouldn't see them backbiting and talking about each other and comparing themselves to each other and competing with each other. They work together. And the reason that they do that is because they know their identity. They know that they're strong. They know that they're powerful. They know that they're regal. They know that they're fearless. They know they're stunning, right? And when you own who you are, there's no need for all that other stuff. And so when you take that, when you take our tendency as women sometimes to compare ourselves to others and to kind of have sideways disease, always looking at what everybody else is doing and sitting on Facebook and comparing our behind the scenes to everybody else's highlight reel, and you know, then you add to that the stress of everyday life. It cages us, and it holds back the power that's within us to make a change in the world. And I'm here to tell you right now that lionesses were never meant to be tamed, and neither were you. And in order to help set other women free, you've got to first free yourself. And I want to show you tonight how AdvoCare can be the key that unlocks that cage for you so that you can pass it forward and unlock the key for other women. You, just like the lioness, were designed with strength and power to run free, to fulfill your destiny, to become all that you were called to be, if you will pursue a passion and not a paycheck, if you will pursue your purpose, if you will pursue people and not the busyness of everyday life. I love this quote. It says, the key to being free is the revelation that you already are. You are free to choose your thoughts, you're free to choose your words, and you are free to choose your actions. These things create your life. Consistent, choices create circumstance. And this is a quote from Keith Cameron Smith. He's a well-known author, has written several incredible books. I recommend you check him out. But I have a really good friend, and she talks all the time to me about choices. She's always reminding me that I have a choice in the matter. And so while we might feel caged, and we might feel as though we're being held back from all of these things in life that we want to do, the reality is, ladies, that we're already free. We just have to choose it, okay? And I'm going to show you tonight how you can choose it. And so as we move into the AdvoCare portion of this presentation, I want to introduce you to the average American family, all right? The average American family makes about $43,000 a year. They own their own home. It's worth about $160,000, but they owe $95,000 on it to the bank. They can't manage to pay off a $2,200 credit card balance. Does that sound familiar to you, or does that sound like anybody that you know? They have about $3,800 in the bank on on a good day. They don't have a retirement account. I'd be willing to bet that little girl right there does not have a college fund, which means that she's more than likely going to perpetuate the same cycle that her parents did, maybe just a little bit worse. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see that 82% of all Americans hate what they do. Over 60% of working Americans drop a child off at daycare every day, not because they want to, but because they feel that they have no other choice. 66% of all adult Americans are overweight. In the middle column, you see that we are spending billions of dollars that we clearly don't have in the wellness industry because we're exhausted, we're obese, we're sick, we're not taking care of ourselves, we're running ourselves in the ground to pay for things that we can't afford, and so we're spending billions on energy drinks just to feel better. And so what I see here is that we have a whole lot of people who are giving their best hours to a job that's not paying them enough to afford the things that they already have, let alone be able to improve the quality of their life. And they're coming home at the end of every day and giving their leftovers to the people that they love the most. And that, to me, ladies, it sounds backwards, right? It does not sound like the American dream to me. And that's why every 6 seconds someone starts a home-based business. And the majority of those people are women. And I'm here to show you tonight why AdvoCare is the best choice. Now, this is my story. These pictures of me were taken at least 4 years ago. Some of them are older. I spent the majority of my 20s and early 30s as a morbidly obese woman. I was very sick. I suffered from a lot of obesity-related complications. I was hopeless, if I'm being honest with you. I lived the majority of my life on my couch. We didn't really do a whole lot as a family because I didn't have the energy to pull myself up and go out and do things with my family. And so it was a night in the spring about 4 years ago that I was sitting on the couch with my sweet son. His name is Jack, and this was when Jack was 6 years old. And he looked at me through tears while we were watching The Biggest Loser together, and he said, "Mom, you look like those people on that television show, and I'm so scared you're going to die." And girls, that was my moment to say, okay, something has to change. And I didn't know what in the world I was going to do, but I knew I was going to do something. So I made a decision to change. I drew a line in the sand and I said, my son deserves better. I wasn't quite to the point yet to believe that I deserved better, but I knew that my son deserved better. And so I did the only thing I knew to do, which was exercise. And so this shows you the timeline of what has happened in my life over the last several years. At the age of 35, I was about 300 pounds, exhausted and hopeless. When my son challenged me to get healthy, I started working out. And for about 10 months, I worked out with a personal trainer and did a dance fitness class every day. I was working out 5 to 6 days a week, sometimes 2 hours a day. And over the course of 10 months, I dropped 40 pounds and 1 dress size. You really couldn't tell. I was just a little bit smaller size of round. There was no muscle tone. There was no definition. You can see in that second photo that I'm very pale. That's because I was anemic. I had blown out both of my knees. I was absolutely exhausted because I was running my body into the ground. I did not understand that I needed to fuel my body for for what I was putting it through every day. And so when I was just about to quit, after I had been stuck at a plateau for about 3 months, my girlfriend Brooks Reed started getting results. Brooks had been obese as well and had lost some weight like me with exercise, but all of a sudden it was changing for her. And so I asked her, I said, I don't know what you're doing, but if it's legal, you need to tell a sister about it. And you know what she did? She said, you know what, Mary Alice, I'm doing this thing called the 24-day challenge, and all I know is that I feel great. And I want to introduce you to my friend Angela. She's helping me, and I know she'll help you too. And because of that, because my friend didn't try to sell me something, because she introduced me to someone who could help me, I was able to get started on the right products. I started the 24-day challenge, and in 24 days had lost 13 inches from around my middle, 7 pounds of body fat, and 4 dress sizes. By the time I turned 37, I had lost 120 pounds and felt like an absolute rock star. I felt better at 37 than I did at 17. Age 38 and age 39, continuing to maintain, continuing to feel better. I turned 40 this year, and I feel better at 40 than I did when I was 20 years old. And so this is what life looks like for us now. Life is completely different. I don't sit on my couch anymore. In fact, I went about 8 months without a couch by choice because I was too afraid. I didn't want to sit down on it. I love life. It's so much fun doing life with my husband, being the mom that I was called to be, being able to volunteer and be active and chase him around the yard, having relationships with people who speak life and hope into me. And see, what Brooks didn't know when she introduced me to her friend Angela to hear about the 24-day challenge is that the reason I was carrying around all that weight was because it was a symptom of more that was going on behind my 4 walls. You see, my husband, not only is he adorable, but he is an amazing man, and he had a real estate business and had done very, very well for 2 years. And when the economy crashed, so did our business. And so here we were, 2 college graduates with the world in front of us, and we were sitting on a foreclosed house. We were less than 2 months away from losing our house to the bank. Our church was bringing us food, and we literally had $146 to our name. So when I talked to Angela Pinnell on the phone and she told me about the 24-day challenge, I wanted it so badly. But you guys, I didn't have money for a 24-day challenge. I couldn't buy a 24-day challenge. And that's when Angela Pinnell opened up the door to the opportunity of AdvoCare. I was not looking to be a vitamin salesman, nor was I looking for a direct sales health and wellness company. I was looking for hope. And sometimes, girls, hope comes masked in a costume that we don't recognize right at the beginning. And I didn't see this when Angela first shared it with me. I thought, oh, it's one of those things, whatever. But there was something about her heart that wouldn't let me go. And there was something about this opportunity that couldn't get out of my head. And so I drugged my husband kicking and screaming to an AdvoCare meeting to learn more. And by the time we walked out of the house that night, he looked at me with tears in his eyes and he said, babe, if this is what they say it is, not only are you going to be healthy, but we're going to be millionaires, and we're going to help a lot of people in the process. And guys, I'm here to tell you right now, 3 years later, we are a stay-at-home family. We share AdvoCare with a passion because we are so passionate about helping other people get what they want in life. And by doing that, we're able to be a stay-at-home family. Our sweet son Jack is a stay-at-home kid. We homeschool. We earn on average between $18,000 and $20,000 a month helping other people get what they want out of life. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know where else in America you can go and have an opportunity like that. And this is the woman who shared AdvoCare with me. This is Brooks Reed and her husband, Chris. Brooks is one of my dearest friends in the world, and if it hadn't been for her getting these results and being willing to share with me, I wouldn't be here today. And you see, when Brooks started AdvoCare, she just wanted to lose that last 7 pounds, and she lost those last 7 pounds in her first 5 days on product. And then Brooks caught the vision, and she saw that she could earn a little bit of extra money, and in her first month, she made $10,000. In her first 12 months, $98,000. That opened her eyes to the fact that her husband, Chris, who is a CRNA, a registered nurse anesthetist at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, that Chris was working every single overtime to pay down school debt, $100,000 in school debt, and he was never seeing his children. His kids didn't have a relationship with him. He was miserable. He was tired. He was exhausted. And Brooke saw that if she could strap Advocare onto her back, that she could set her husband free from his job. And you know what? She did that. Chris Reed is now a full-time stay-at-home daddy. This amazing family lives 4 houses up the street from us, and we do life together, and they're currently earning about $40,000 per month helping other people get what they want in life. And so when I share these stories with you, I know these incomes can seem a bit overwhelming, and you might just be sitting there going, I just need $500 a month. You know what? That's awesome. We can help you do that. Whatever it is that you need, it can be achieved through Advocare. And so I want to tell you who we are and what we do. We are a world-class nutrition company, nothing more and nothing less. We're founded in 1993, so we're a 21-year-old company based out of Plano, Texas. We're also a debt-free company, which is really exciting to someone like myself who's a distributor. Gives me a lot of peace at night when I go to sleep because I know my company's not going anywhere. We have over 70 different products in our line. We have 250 years of science behind our products, and we have hundreds of non-paid professional and Olympic sports endorsers. We compensate our endorsers with product. They are non-cash paid. And we do 2 things in Advocare. We provide solutions in 2 key areas, and those are the 2 key areas that plague most American families today, and that's the area of health and finances. We do this because of our founder, a man named Charlie Regas. Charlie was a visionary, and he understood the importance of nutrition in the human body because he was also an athlete. So Charlie had a dream and a vision to create the world's finest nutritional products. He knew that he wanted to use the direct selling model to distribute those products because he wanted to provide an opportunity for ordinary people to do something extraordinary. You see, Charlie believed that we are all difference makers, and if you can reward people well for being difference makers, not only can you change that person's life, you can change their family, you can change their community, you can change their state, and you can also change the country that you live in. If you look at Charlie's guiding principles there on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see what Charlie believed to be the highest truths. Charlie wrote these out on a napkin, and they are the principles that guide Advocare still today. Now, when you look at this imagery here on the screen, I want you to think about what you're feeling, because the very first time I ever got on an airplane, I think I was 33 years old. We were flying to Disney World. My in-laws were taking us on a trip, and so I was flying with my son, who was, I think, 3 at that time. His first flight, my first flight, and I'll never forget the flight attendant coming out and saying, "Okay, now when in case of an emergency, in the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, I want you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you help someone else." And there was this thing inside of me that said, no way, my little boy's too important, I'm helping him. Are you kidding? I'm putting oxygen on him first. And Philip could tell that really riled me up, and he said, look, babe, you've got to take care of yourself first. What are you going to do if you're trying to put oxygen on Jack and you pass out? You've got to take care of yourself first. And that's really at the core of what we're talking about tonight. That's exactly what Advocare is all about. It's about you taking care of you first so that you can be the best you for everybody else in your life. And for so many people, that begins with the 24-day challenge. You see, I told you already that Advocare has over 70 different products. So whether it's weight loss, energy, performance, healthy aging, your kids, whatever it is, there's a product for people's specific needs. But most people who get started in Advocare, when they come to the table, they get started with the 24-day challenge. And what this is this is a wellness kickstart, okay? This program is designed to do a couple of things. It's designed to kickstart your results. It's designed to give you fast results so that you can see that things are changing. We are a people who like to instant gratification. We want to see that things are changing, right? But also, this program is designed to detox your system for 10 days. The first 10 days of the program is a cleanse, and you're eating the entire time real food, whole food, food from your grocery store that you buy around the perimeter of your store. You're eating every 2 to 3 hours to retrain your body to expect fuel. You're teaching your body to trust you again so that it can let go of the waste and let go of the stored body fat. So the very first 10 days is this gentle cleanse. You're not going to camp out in your bathroom. You're not going to have to put Wi-Fi in there so you can live in there all the time. Not at all. You're going to drink about a gallon of water every day in addition to eating and in addition to taking your products. So you're probably going to go TT a whole lot, and I can say that to my girls tonight. You're probably going to need to do that quite a bit on the cleanse, but that's great because you're just getting rid of the built-up toxins in your system. The products that are included in your cleanse phase of your 24-day challenge are the herbal cleanse box that you see there. It's green, and also a bottle of Omegaplex. The Omegaplex help to reduce inflammation in the body, which is great when you're trying to lose weight because there is a link between obesity and inflammation. It's also great for your heart, your skin, your hair, your nails. I really can't think of much of anything that the omegas aren't good for. And then you're also going to have a Spark every day. Spark is our mental focus and energy drink. I love Spark. I was talking to a friend today about Spark and thinking back to my coffee days when I used to drink 3 pots a day, and I remember how horrible I used to feel and wonder why I couldn't get the energy that I wanted when I was pumping so much of that stuff through my veins. And now I wake up in the morning with a Spark. I drink a Spark about midway through the afternoon, and I'm good to go, and I feel better than I ever did before. And then when we move into the max phase, that's when you begin to supplement. Now that your body has been detoxed and prepped to receive nutrition at the highest level, we're going to start putting that nutrition in, not only through healthy food choices, but the little purple box that you see there that says MNS Max 3, that is our metabolic nutrition system, and the Max 3 is our wellness formula. We also have a Max E for energy and a Max C for appetite control. So it's really up to you and the person who's coaching you to decide which formula is going to be right for you. You're also going to get a box of meal replacement shakes, which are 24 grams of carbs, 24 grams of pre-digested protein, so it's a perfect meal. And we, as women, again, usually if we're married and have kids in the morning, what are we doing? We're getting everybody else fed, we're getting everybody out the door, and so we tend to neglect ourselves. We got to put the oxygen mask on first thing in the morning with the meal replacement shake because it's going to get you started off with that protein that you need for fat loss, and it's going to give you lots of energy to get through the day. You're also going to have Spark on your max phase. I highly recommend adding a bottle of Catalyst and a bottle of ThermoPlus to your 24-day challenge as well. Those are companion products that greatly enhance results. The Catalyst is a branched chain amino acid, going to help you to preserve your lean muscle and burn body fat. And the ThermoPlus is a thermogenic, so it's going to help you to very gently speed up your metabolism and metabolize fat a little bit more efficiently. Okay? Now, that's where most people get started. It doesn't really matter if you come to the table with a weight problem like I did or if you just need energy. The 24-day challenge isn't a weight loss program. It is a wellness program, so it works great for probably 95% of all people. Now, when you're done with the 24-day challenge, you have the choice as to what to do next. Most people will stay on the max phase products as their daily regimen and add in a few things based upon their need, but we also have an incredible Performance Elite timeline, or Performance Elite line, and this is the Performance Elite timeline. That's what happens when I try to read the slides. But this timeline shows you how, based upon the type of workout you're doing, how our products fit into your regimen to help enhance your results. These are the same products that you will see Drew Brees, our national spokesperson, using. The same products that Jason Witten uses, and Trevor Bain uses, and Rich Froning, the world's fittest man, winner of the CrossFit Games 3 times in a row. These are all the products that they use every day to fuel their bodies, and they are people who get paid to perform. Now, this story is so very special to me. This is my dear friend Whitney Gladden. Whitney is a diamond distributor in AdvoCare, and Whitney is very thin. She's going to tell you her story here in just a minute, but Whitney was very thin. She did not come to the table like I did, right? We needed two very different things, but what Whitney wanted was to be a fit mom, as fit as she could possibly be. And what you see here is a 4-month transformation process using clean eating, working out, and the AdvoCare Performance Elite products. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you Whitney's story because Whitney so graciously offered to send a quick video, and she's going to tell you her story. So Whitney, take it away.
Hi, it's Whitney Gladden. I'm a diamond distributor in Madison, Mississippi, and I want to tell you a little bit about the product side of my story. I'm just a normal person. I've never been heavy or overweight, but I always wanted to be more fit. And so when AdvoCare was introduced to me, I was 6 months pregnant and thought, after I have this last baby, I'm going to be the fittest I've ever been in my life, and I'm going to use AdvoCare to do that. And so that's what initially got us started with this company. So then, of course, I did the 24-day challenge, lost 9 pounds, felt better than I felt since college, and just went on living life, and sharing AdvoCare with friends and family allowed me to retire from my law practice. At that point, I had a little more time on my hands, and I was also turning 37, and I thought, by my 37th birthday, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. So what I did was start on some of the Performance Elite products that I absolutely loved. Have never gotten results like that in the gym. That led to a photo shoot for my 37th birthday, because that was my goal, was to be in shape for a photo shoot. And I was just going to have the photos for myself. Well, people saw those photos and asked me if I would ever be interested in competing in a show. So shortly after that, I started training for a WBFF show and competed in the fitness model category. Got top 10 and was very excited about that. And we'll soon be competing in the Worlds in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that'll be at the end of the summer. We're very excited, but I could never do any of this without the AdvoCare products. Putting on muscle at age 37 is very difficult to do. These products have given me the nutritional support that I need to accomplish more than I ever thought I could. So, Mary Alice, I love you. Thanks for letting me share.
Wow. I mean, I love Whitney's story so much because it is so different from mine. And what I love even more is that, Whitney she's just a normal girl, and she's extraordinary. I think she's absolutely amazing. But Whitney had a very successful law career, and she loved doing that. But when she had her children, she realized that she was missing some things that were more important to her than that law career. And so she has used AdvoCare not only to transform her body, but to transform her life. And now she gets to be a stay-at-home mommy to her 2 precious babies because of AdvoCare. She was able to walk away from that law career. So, ladies, this is really what I want to share with you. I want to show you through these stories tonight that anything is possible if you believe that it's possible and if you take action to make it possible. Now, with Whitney and me, both of us coming to the table with such very different needs, how do these products work? How do they help her accomplish what she needed to accomplish, and how do they help me accomplish what I needed to accomplish? And the reason is very simple. It's the science behind the products, and you are looking at 250 years of experience right here. You are looking at a who's who in medicine, nutrition, kinesiology, research. These men and women are the best of the best of the best. Particularly, one of my very favorite stories to tell is Dr. Stanley Dudrick. Dr. Dudrick is knighted in 3 countries. He's known in the medical community as the father of the IV. He did not invent the IV, but he did invent TPN, which is total parental nutrition, or the receiving of nutrition through an IV. This man puts his reputation on the line for AdvoCare every single day, as do the rest of these amazing men and women. If you'll see the little green check mark that just came up at the bottom of the screen, this is so important. It's important for me as a mom, just because I need to know what's going in my body, but I also need to know what's going in my little boy's body, because he has a product regimen too. So do my parents. We run the gamut around here as far as ages. But our endorsers, men like Drew Brees and Jason Witten, they have to know that when they're drug tested, that they will not test positive for any kind of banned substance or toxin or pollutant. And with AdvoCare, they know that because we submit our products for testing, and we are 100% toxin-free, contaminant-free, and banned substance-free, and that is so, so important. So now we come to the part of the presentation where I do my best to help you find your fit. I love AdvoCare because we offer 4 different relationships, and honestly, we offer a 5th relationship, which is, this just isn't my time. This just isn't for me. And if that's you, that's all right. Your friendship with the person who invited you tonight is going to remain intact. No one's going to talk about you behind your back if you say no to AdvoCare. But I want you to know that this is like walking into a restaurant. Let's say you walk into a restaurant and someone hands you the menu, and everything on the menu is phenomenal. But there's going to be one thing that stands out to you. And the same is true with AdvoCare. I want you to look at this slide like your AdvoCare menu, and everything on the menu is fantastic. But there's going to be one thing on here that sounds the best to you, and it's going to depend on how hungry you are, right? So as a retail customer, that means that you can purchase your products from the person who is helping you. Very simple. There's no discount available as a retail customer, but that's okay. Some people prefer that, and they just want to order their product from the person who's helping them. But you can choose to be a wholesale customer with AdvoCare, which to me makes a whole lot of sense, because most people, when they try our products, they don't want to be without them. And so if you can have a discount on something that you're going to be taking for the rest of your life, why wouldn't you do it, right? So you can sign up to be a wholesale customer. This means you sign up with the person who's helping you for $79. And for that $79, you get your own website that you order from. You get a welcome kit that contains about $60 in free product that you can either consume or sample out to other people that you want to share with. And then you get an immediate 20% discount on your first order. And your discount, believe it or not, can grow up to 30% as a wholesale customer. That's absolutely fantastic. This is pretty much the same thing as a Sam's or a Costco member. When you sign up to be a member with AdvoCare, we're not going to send you stuff that you didn't order. We're not going to charge your card when you don't authorize it. You're not going to have some crazy auto ship program, and we're not going to call you and ask you to order something. There's no quotas, no minimums, nothing. It's just like having a membership at Sam's or Costco. You buy what you want when you want. Now, by default, when you become a wholesale customer, you can also become a distributor of the product. It means you have the right but not the obligation to distribute the product. This is somebody who loves the product, loves the company, doesn't mind telling people about it when they ask, gets them introduced and connected to the larger message of AdvoCare, and they can earn a little bit of extra money part-time. You can earn some, mailbox money, enough maybe to pay for your own product every month. And if that sounds appealing, then that's where you need to be. But if you're really hungry, now that you've come into the restaurant and seen the menu, then advisor is where we want to talk for a few minutes. The advisor is someone who has a business mindset, someone who's willing to follow a process or a business model, and someone who wants to build significant long-term legacy-building wealth. Now, advisor is also somebody who just wants a 40% discount on their product. You can be an advisor and not build a business at all. We have a lot of people on our team. They don't care to share with people, but they sure do love their 40% discount. So whichever side of the fence you fall on, advisor to me is still the best place to be, because you're saving the most money or you can make the most money. And this quote really resonates to me. Often it is enough to know others who've crossed the bridge before us and found their way safely to the other side. Sometimes those who falter simply need a glance back from a sister who's already safely there. The look back is enough to communicate, "Hey sister, I'm out of here." And not only is it all clear, it's all good. And that to me is exactly what we do as distributors and advisors in AdvoCare. We are always reaching back and always saying to people, "Hey, it's okay. I'm over here and it's it's all good. And not only is it all good, there's some great stuff happening over here. So whenever you're ready, take my hand and let's go do this thing together. That's all this is about. So when we look at AdvoCare as far as being a distributor or an advisor and which one's the right fit for you, both distributor and advisor begin with a $79 distributorship fee, okay? Both of them do. Now, as a distributor, you earn income two ways, and that means when you sell product retail, you're making either a 20 or a 30% profit on your retail sales. That means when you sign someone up as a wholesale member, you're going to make the difference between your discounts when they purchase. Now, when you become an advisor, you're going to maximize both of those two streams of income. You're going to have a 40% discount on your product, but you're also going to have a 40% profit on your retail sales. You're also going to have a you're maximizing your profit when you sell to someone who has a wholesale membership with you. So if you have a 40% discount and they have a 20% discount, you will earn a 20% commission. So you've maximized that commission. But when you become an advisor, this is when you get to earn two types of residual incomes. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that, but I do want you to know that the residual piece of your business means that, you know, I'm sitting here right now in my house in a crunchy ponytail and a sweatshirt and pajama pants, just being totally transparent. I would not love it if you could see me right now, but it's just the truth of where I am, and I'm making money doing this, right? I make money while I sleep with AdvoCare. We make money, you know, every day for work that we did 2 years ago, and we'll be getting paid in 10 years for work that we're doing today. That's the beauty of the residual form of income. It's also willable. So if something happens to you and your spouse, then you can will your business to your children or to someone else that you choose, and as long as your business is generating income, they will continue to get paid. Now, I just want to tell you really quickly that my husband, as I told you earlier, was in real estate, and you know, it's a home-based business. He worked out of our home, and that was great, but he was on call all the time, and if somebody needed to see a house, he had to go. But the one thing that really struck me is that once he sold a house, the house was sold, and you know, people didn't pop up in 5 years and say, man, Philip, we're really enjoying this playroom. We're going to send you a check for $1,500 for letting us use it. That didn't happen. But with AdvoCare, that happens because people love Spark and people love Metabolic Nutrition System and Muscle Gain and all these amazing products. And every single time they say, wow, thanks, Mary Alice, for introducing me. I'm still buying Spark. Well, I continue to get paid. That's the beauty of the residual income piece in AdvoCare. Now, the other piece is that we have trips, bonuses, and incentives. One of the most amazing bonus programs that we have is our rookie bonus program. When you become an advisor in AdvoCare, you have 3 pay periods to sponsor 3 new distributors and generate $3,000 of volume. That is my goal every single pay period for myself, and I've been in this business for 3 years. So imagine when you're just getting started and you've got a whole new group of people to talk to. It's amazing the momentum that you can generate. And when you do that quickly in the beginning, you're going to start your business off with a $500 guaranteed bonus if you do what's required. This is a you do, you get program. This is also going to set you up to build a business that can pay you anywhere from $30,000 to $80,000 a year, anywhere from a 3-star gold to a ruby business. This is an amazing program, and we're seeing it launch people into some serious income. Now, my favorite way that we get paid in AdvoCare, besides the relationships, are the trips. And when Philip and I began in AdvoCare, we had never been on a vacation that my in-laws hadn't paid for. We'd been to Disney World a couple times on their dime, and you know, when you're having to ask to borrow money to buy your son a souvenir, it's significantly less magical. So when we went to our very first success school with AdvoCare, we saw that they were offering these amazing trips, and the first trip that was available to us was Atlantis, and it was a family incentive. And so we knew that if we put our heads down and went to work, that we could earn that incentive trip and take our son. And so I'm here to tell you that we did. 6 months into our journey, we earned the Atlantis incentive, and we got to take Jack to swim with dolphins, and it was an experience of a lifetime for him. He will never forget that. It really raised the bar on family vacations, I have to tell you. But the most beautiful part of AdvoCare incentive trips, and Charlie Regis, our founder, he knew this. He knew that if he could pluck you out of where you are and sit you down somewhere beautiful with people who speak life and hope, that he could not only change your perspective, but he could send you back into your environment so that you could be a catalyst for change there. And this is our trip to Honolulu Bay, Hawaii. This was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. We were on a boat out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, cruising the Nepali coast. The driver of the boat, the captain of the boat, I should say, told us that less than 2% of the world's population will ever see what we saw with their own eyes. And so AdvoCare gives us remarkable opportunities to do incredible things with incredible people. The next trip coming up is our Costa Rica incentive, and I'm here to tell you right now that it is not too late. If you are brand new, you can earn this trip. If you have a big enough belief and a strong enough work ethic, anything is possible, and this is definitely a trip that you're going to want to be on. When I sit down with someone new in AdvoCare, I show them this chart because I want them to see what's possible. I literally point to the chart on the left and I ask them to choose their color because in AdvoCare, you are the variable. When I graduated college, I had a social work degree and I went to work for an inner city youth program in downtown Nashville, and I got paid $21,000 a year. And you know, I had a really difficult job. I had to wear a pager 24 hours a day, and it didn't matter if I worked 24 hours or if I worked 8 hours or somewhere in between. It didn't matter if it was a desk day or if I got a gun pulled on me or I got vomited on. All those things happened, and I brought home $21,000 a year regardless. And the reason that that was true for me, just as it's true for most people working in corporate America or working a 9 to 5, is because somebody else is determining your worth. So there's really no impetus for excellence. But in AdvoCare there is, and the reason is because you're the variable. You get to choose your paycheck. Every single 2 weeks in AdvoCare, you have an opportunity to give yourself a raise. I will tell you that the last 2-week check that we received, we literally doubled our income from the pay period before, and that was all up to us. It was all up to our work ethic. And for some people that's a little frightening, but for other people that's very freeing. So when you look at this chart here on the left, the silver level of leadership is an additional $1,000 a month. So what would that do for your family? Does that mean a debt gets paid? Does that mean you can cover gas and groceries? Does that take some pressure off? You look at 3-star gold. We have several 3-star gold teammates on our team. That's $41,000 a year. That's a mama coming home to her babies, right? And you look at Ruby, $81,000 a year. This is residual part-time income, right? You remember that plate that I showed you at the beginning that said, there's a lot on that plate? AdvoCare is a discretionary time business. It's not one more thing to put on the plate. This is something that you build in the time that you have in the car driving to work. This is something that you build when you are doing dishes or folding laundry. This is a discretionary time business, and to be able to build an income that pays you $80,000 a year with your discretionary time. We have a couple on our team right now in qualification for their Ruby Pen. She is a full-time school counselor. He owns his own cleaning business. She just recently completed her master's, actually started her business while she was still in school. They have 2 small children, and they've built a Ruby business in less than 14 months. That's powerful, you guys. Philip and I, as I told you earlier, at the 9-star Emerald level, we just qualified for the Diamond level of income in AdvoCare. That's life-changing income. And sometimes I look at it and I think, man, do we really need to earn that kind of income? And then I remember something that someone told me once, and that is, if you think you're making enough money, you're not giving enough away. And so that goes back to purpose. And that's what I want to talk to you about really quickly as we wrap up. How do we do AdvoCare? You might be hearing what I'm saying and thinking, man, that sounds great, but how? Well, I'm going to tell you how. First, you have to define your purpose. Your purpose has to be so strong in you that when your best friend decides that she's going to go buy her product from somebody else, or your mom tells you that you're crazy and that you don't need to be messing around with one of those deals, or Uncle Frank, who's got all the answers and none of the money, starts giving you all the advice in the world that you didn't ask for, you're going to go back to your purpose, and you're not going to quit, and you're not going to give up, and you're not going to be discouraged, because you're going to know that anything in life worth having is not going to come easy. So you've got to define your purpose. And then you've got to add your purpose to the process of AdvoCare. You see, there are a lot of people in AdvoCare who want to reinvent the wheel. They want to do it their own way. Maybe they think they have better answers, or they just don't want to submit to the system, and they get frustrated and they quit. But if you have a purpose and you are willing to follow the process, then you're going to receive provision. It's a perfect formula, and it works every time. So when we talk about purpose, my purpose is the orphan. My husband and I, we have adopted 3 children in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We have 3 sons, Emery, Crispin, and Philippe. They are 7, 5, and almost 3. They are the 3 most beautiful children you've ever seen in your life, and I'd give anything if I could put their faces on the screen right now for you to see, but I can't do that. That's our purpose. And our purpose is even bigger, because we know that once our boys are home, that there's going to be children left behind in the orphanage that are going to be wishing that they had families too, and we're going to be able to bless the orphanages of Africa, because that's our heart. And you may be sitting there and you may be thinking, well, but that's not my passion, and that's okay. When I first started in the beginning with AdvoCare, my purpose was to get my house out of foreclosure. Your purpose might be to pay off some debt. Your purpose might be just to lay down at night and not have the stress of your bank account hanging over your head. Whatever your purpose is, as long as it's yours and as long as it's unique to you and it's worth fighting for, that's all you need. And then you take that purpose, it's going to make you ready to go out into the world and be change. It's going to make you want to get up in the morning and talk to people. It's going to make you want to roar and take back, this power that belongs to you. And you take that and you add it to the process of AdvoCare, which, you guys, is so mind-blowingly simple. You take the products. You get great results. You talk to people. And you know what? You don't talk to people about product. You don't talk to people about ingredients. You don't talk to people about AdvoCare's company history. You don't talk about stuff. You tell people your story. People are attracted to your story, and oftentimes people will never get to the message of AdvoCare because they can't see past you. So tell them your story and then invite them to hear more from the person who's helping you. It's a simple, simple, simple process. And so now let's talk about timing. I hear all the time, oh, well, is it saturated and is it too late? And I'm here to tell you, it's not. AdvoCare just had the fastest distributor to reach Diamond. She started I think she started about a year ago. It took her 8 months to get to the Diamond level in AdvoCare. She's an extraordinary young woman, and she didn't start in AdvoCare 20 years ago. She started a year ago, and she's already built a Diamond business. So timing is everything, and I'm here to tell you that your timing is perfect. AdvoCare is on the cusp of becoming a billion-dollar company. I believe that we will do that this year. You can see how we've grown slowly over time, and then you can see how quickly we're beginning to grow now. We will be a billion-dollar company this year, and what that means for you is that AdvoCare pays out 60 cents on the dollar back to the distributors in the company. So if you're maximizing the compensation plan as an advisor, then you're taking advantage of all that. And that means $600 million paid back out to the distributor base. Guys, that's powerful. And I don't know about you, but I know that I want to have my piece of that pie, because I know what my purpose is, and I know that my purpose requires money to achieve it. So let's talk about how you get started in AdvoCare, okay? If you want to get started on products at the retail level, you can certainly do that. But if you would like to have a discount on your product, you can get started anywhere from a 20 all the way up to a 40% discount. I believe the 40% discount makes the most sense for everyone, because you're keeping the most money in your pocket when you purchase product, and you're also making the most money when you share AdvoCare with other people. And so to get to the 40% discount, what that looks like is a $2,100 investment. That's going to get you $3,000 of retail product of your choice. You can stock your own pantry, just like you would if you went to Sam's or Costco, and you can look at that as a $900 savings. You can purchase 24-day challenges to sell to other people, to start a 24-day challenge group. And if you do that, you can look at that as a $900 profit. You can buy a combination of those two things, stock your pantry, but buy some product to sell. However you want to do it, you are in charge and you get to choose. But bottom line, the advisor investment is a one-time purchase of $3,000 of product. It's going to cost you $2,100. But the best part is that it is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. What that means is that you have one full year to test drive this business to decide if it's for you. If it is, fantastic. If it's not, box it up, ship your product back, anything unopened or unused, resign from your membership, and AdvoCare will send your money back. Guys, I'm here to tell you that that is phenomenal. I don't know of any other company that does that. Okay? Now, if you don't have the ability to go straight to advisor, but you desire to get there, then speed and momentum are key. I told you guys in the very beginning that I didn't have money. I had $146. I certainly didn't have money to invest in a business, but what I had was people. I had relationship. And so Philip and I got to the advisor level in 3 days by sharing the opportunity and sharing the products that we knew about with people, getting them connected to the people helping us, and helping them find their fit in AdvoCare. And so if you desire more, if you desire income, then advisors where you need to be. Just get there quickly. It doesn't matter how you get there. It just matters that you get there and that you get there quickly. And so here's what I want to leave you with tonight. One of my favorite quotes. If there ever comes a time when the women of the world come together purely and simply for the benefit of mankind, it would be a force such as the world has never known. And girls, I believe that that is true for us. I know that I would not be here today if my friend Brooks Reed had not reached back for me and had not said, hey, come on, it's okay over here. I'm over here with my friend Angela, and she's awesome, and she's helped me, and she's going to help you too. And then if I hadn't reached back for my friend Amy Myers and my friend Melanie Thomason and my friend Rachel Allen and all these amazing Lioness women in my life who then did the exact same thing and turned around and reached back for their friends and said, come on, we're all over here and it's great. We're getting healthy. We feel amazing. We're bringing home some income. We're retiring our husbands. We're spending more time with our kids. We're building quality relationships. We're funding ministries. We're bringing home kids from the other side of the world. Come on, it's okay over here. Guys, that's what this is all about. This is about us as women empowering each other to be our best and having the courage to speak vision and life and hope into the women in our lives who don't know that there's more. Because I know right now, every single one of you, if you go to your Facebook news feed, and I don't really encourage it, but if you did, you would find at least 10 women who are hiding. They're hiding behind a facade. They want people to know that to think that everything's okay, when in reality it's not. On the inside, they're falling apart. Maybe they're losing their house. Maybe they don't ever get to see their kids. Maybe they're very unhappy in their physical body. Maybe their marriage is falling apart. Maybe they have hopes and dreams that they've buried in the graveyard because somebody told them they couldn't do it. I don't know what it is, but there are women in your life right now that need a word and a message of hope, and they need to see other women who are doing this. Married women, single women, women with kids, grandmothers, women in college. They need to know that woman after woman after woman are taking this amazing vehicle called AdvoCare, applying it to their purpose, and achieving massive success. So I want to leave you with that. We're in this together. You matter. Your voice matters. The women in your life matter. It matters that you have the courage to reach out to them and introduce them to the person who's helping you, because they're probably pillowing their head tonight, not praying for vitamins, not praying for a direct sales company, but praying for hope. And you hold hope in your hands. Ladies, I thank you. I thank you for being with me tonight. I ask you to get back with the person who's helping you. Tell them what you saw. Tell them what you want to do. They will help you get started and help you make the most of this amazing opportunity. I appreciate you girls so much. Be blessed, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.